Hello, welcome along to today's Solve a Telegraph Cryptic Crossword. Today we're going to have a go at Cryptic Crossword number 31053. If you're interested in learning about cryptic crosswords and trying to work out how to solve them, maybe you just started and you're looking to learn some of the tips and tricks, or perhaps you are an accomplished cryptic crossword solver but you're looking to hone your skills and maybe pick up a few ideas along the way, then you're in the right place. So we're going to go through the clues today. Hopefully we'll get them all solved, and I'll explain to you how they are created, how they're solved, and we'll have a bit of fun along the way, hopefully. So let's start, as we always do, with one across. Father accepts a deity inside temple. Okay, so most cryptic crosswords, about 3/4 of them, are written in such a way that part of the clue refers to the straight part, the definition part of the clue, and part of it refers to the wordplay. And usually the first half is either wordplay or straight part, and then the second half of the clue is the balance. So the first thing we look at with cryptic crosswords often is, does this look like a clue that has a straight part and a wordplay part? And if so, which end would be the straight part? Well, father is regularly used in cryptic crosswords as pop, sometimes pa or dad. So this suggests to me that this is probably the first part of the clue is the wordplay, and then the last part of the clue then is the definition. So I think we're looking for a word for a temple, and with God as a deity and pa, I think we get pagoda. So father is pa, that's the P at the beginning and the A at the end, and it accepts a deity, so a god, in the middle, so inside, to give pagoda, which is a temple. Okay, good start. Reputation is suffering in court. Okay, well, court is often abbreviated to CT, so it could be CT. So we're looking for a word, I think, that means reputation, with a word for suffering in the middle. Sort of clout is reputation maybe, but that's not enough letters. No, don't see that one. Okay, 10 across. China covered in enormous gemstones. Yeah. So China here is a bit of Cockney rhyming slang. So a China plate is a mate, a friend. Me old China, you might have heard from Cockney rhyming slang. So China in this sense refers to a friend or a pal, P-A-L. Something that is enormous is oversized, so OS for oversized, and with pal in the middle gives opals, which are gemstones. 11 across. Act includes empty effort, showing bust. Okay, so again, act includes empty effort sounds like wordplay. This sounds like the cryptic part of the clue. So we're looking for a word meaning bust, as in, well, I suppose it could be bust as in broken, smashed kind of thing. A bust is also like a statue, plaster busts and so on. Don't see that one. Okay, let's go on. 12 across. Bronzed president almost giving outburst. Yeah, okay, so this is tantrum. So a tantrum is an outburst. So that's, again, the straight part, the definition part. If you're bronzed, you're tanned, so T-A-N. And president almost is obviously Trump almost, so the P missing. Tan and trum gives tantrum, which is outburst. Bloke with sweetheart maybe getting order. Yeah, okay, so a bloke could be a guy, could also be a man. Sweetheart is often used to represent E, because the heart of the word sweet is literally the letter E. But in this case, I think it's date. So your sweetheart is your date, and a mandate is an order. Okay, fruit from entire can spoilt. Yeah. So fruit appears quite often because there are lots of fruits, and I think this is the name of a type of fruit. Spoilt here, this is again the second half of the clue then is the wordplay, and spoilt is an anagram indicator. Entire can has 9 letters, and if you rearrange those 9 letters, you get nectarine, which is a fruit. Okay, stomach is tender in emergency room. Well, emergency room ER. So does it begin E and end in R? The stomach could mean literally your stomach, so your gut, your intestines, your colon type thing. Stomach can also mean to stand it. If you can stomach something, you can endure it. Maybe endure, but not quite enough letters. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's go on. Groove follows street parade. So again, the wordplay here I think is a word for groove following street. Street is abbreviated to ST, as I'm sure you know. And a groove then is a rut. So rut following street gives strut, and to strut is to parade. We'll try embracing pet name. So I think this is testament, but I'm not sure how it entirely fits with the clue. So to try is to test. And looking at the clue, pet name, embracing pet name, this all looks like wordplay. So this led me to think that the first part, the will, was the straight part of the clue. And obviously a will is a testament and it has 9 letters. To try is to test. So T-E-S-T. So embracing. Pet name. Well, name appears with the T. No, actually pet is tame. So something if it's a pet, it's tame. So T-A-M-E, and N is a recognised abbreviation for name. So N for name with tame, and test gives testament. That's better. First course, more piquant after seconds. Yeah. Well, first course is a starter. So something that is piquant could be tart, kind of acidic tart. So more piquant would be tartar. After S for seconds. S is a recognised abbreviation for seconds, H for hours, M for minutes, S for seconds. Gives starter, which is your first course. Okay, outcome odour after vacation al fresco. Okay, and again, overcome odour after vacation. Sounds like wordplay. So we're looking for a word meaning al fresco, which is outdoor. So how do we do that? So to overcome is to outdo. So that's outdo. Odour after vacation. So if you vacate the word odour, in this sense it means remove all the internal letters. You're left with OR. So OR after outdo gives outdoor. So this happens quite often in crossword clues. You kind of think you know the answer by recognising the straight part, and then you go back and prove it by the definition. And that's a pretty common way to solve clues. The other way would be literally trying to solve each part of the cryptic part, the wordplay part, to come up with a letter, a word. And that often happens when it's a word that's unfamiliar to you particularly. So yeah, don't feel you're cheating by guessing the word and then deriving the answer. That's perfectly acceptable. You've got this clue, you've solved the clue from the word al fresco, and then you're just checking that against the cryptic part to prove yourself right. 25 across. Take pains over a nude shot. Okay, Okay, well, shot is an anagram indicator. Something is shot, it's spent, it's broken up. And over a nude has the 9 letters we're looking for. So this looks like an anagram of over a endeavour. Does that have all the letters? I think so. So END, yeah, endeavour is to take pains over something. You endeavour to do something. You attempt and try to do something is endeavour, and it's an anagram of over a nude. Disrobe anonymously holding orgy, perhaps. Okay, well, looking at this, disrobe anonymously are 2 curious words to put together, unless the words are specifically there for a reason, because they form part of the clue or part of the answer. That it needs to be those 2 words to form the answer, which to me is an indicator that this is a hidden clue. And I think the answer is Beano. So Beano, apart from being a boys' comic from the kind of 60s, 70s, maybe even earlier, 80s, a Beano is some sort of wild party, perhaps not an orgy level of wild party. So holding is the container, the hidden indicator here, so telling us that these 2 words hold the answer. And there it is, BEANO gives Beano, which is maybe an orgy, but perhaps a more tame version of a sort of wild party as a Beano. Cryptic, from regular can exasperate. Regular can exasperate. I think this is another hidden. Unusual to have 2 in a row, but it's certainly in the answer. So from here is the hidden indicator to say it's from these words. Regular can exasperate, again, doesn't really flow as a phrase unless those particular letters are important. And if you go from the AR from regular, can, and E of exasperate, made more difficult because of the line break, you get arcane. And something that is arcane could be something that's cryptic, something that's kind of slightly hidden. Okay, 28. Stick, end of stick, in drain. Well, end of stick is K. Yeah, this is skewer. So the definition here is stick. A stick is a skewer. And we have the end of stick, so K, in sewer. A sewer is a drain, gives skewer, which is a stick. Good. That's a pretty good tackle of the across clues. A few early ones there we didn't get, but we'll come back to those. Just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying the solve today, please consider giving the video a like. And if you want to be notified of more videos from me on solving cryptic crosswords, then please also consider subscribing to the channel. That'd be much appreciated. Certainly the like really helps the algorithm with new channels like this to tell YouTube that the video is what you want to see, and it helps me get in front of more people. So that would be really appreciated if you could give us a bit of a like. And with that said, let's get on to the down clues. 2 down. Once more, putting ace over net. Oops, well, it would if I could spell it. That is again. So A for ace, as in cards, ace, king, queen, jack, are abbreviated A, K, Q, J. Something that's, so this net in this case doesn't mean something made of string. It means the gain. So the net, like net profit, would be your gain. So A over gain gives once more, which is a gain. Dutiful retainer supports old boy. Yeah. So an old boy is abbreviated to OB. So old boys are OBs. A retainer in this case is a servant. And something dutiful, if you're dutiful, you are observant. Okay, T possibly with A and M looks like it's probably a Sam, but we'll see. While mother's upset. Yeah. So looking at that again, picking it up from the clue in the letters that we had. So while is as M-A-S, as. Mother is ma. As we said in one across, father can be pa. Likewise, mother can be ma, amongst other things, mum, damn, and so on. But ma, M-A, so Mars, mother's is Mars. M-A-S, upset, is a reversal indicator. So M-A-S, Mars upset, with as gives Assam, which is a type of tea. Conservative, innocuous, and unfriendly. Well, conservative can be abbreviated to C for conservative, sometimes Tory as well, and occasionally right, but usually C or Tory. And we put the C in for court earlier, so that looks like it's correct. Unfriendly with those letters, something less, something this. I think that's, yeah, charmless. What about that? Charmless. So something that's innocuous is harmless. And with the C of conservative, you get charmless, which is unfriendly. Okay, 6 down. Check container, then make butter. Okay, so a container can be a can or a tin. To make butter is to churn. So CH for check, an urn is a container, and then to make butter is to churn. Okay, 7 down. That's an interesting word. See something, see. Anyway, 7 down. Hand over former business involving sex. So former is often abbreviated to EX, X. So your ex is your former partner. Business, company, trade. Yeah. So this is extradite. So to hand over is to extradite. Former is X. Business is trade. And involving sex is it. This is one of those things, curious things that appears in crosswords. It often refers to sex and intercourse and so on, doing it, involving it as sex. So extradite is the answer. Temper beginning to surface regularly. Yeah, okay, so this is soften. So I first thought temper as in anger and rage and ire, which that appears quite regularly. But actually, if you temper something, if you temper chocolate, you can temper certain metals and things as well. S for surface, often. So beginning to surface is S. And then regularly is often, gives soften. 9 down. Queen always rising for worship. So queen, as we said before, is often abbreviated to R, or for Regina. Could also be ER for Elizabeth Regina, so that was Queen Elizabeth. Always is ever rising. Queen always worship. Revere. Revere is to worship. So maybe that's not ER for emergency room. Let's take that out. Yeah, so this is Queen always rising. So Queen ER, Elizabeth Regina, always is ever, EVER. So all of that rising gives worship, which is revere. Okay, adorn rice, getting shredded herb. Okay, so you wouldn't adorn rice very often. That's again a curious combination of letters, unless those letters particularly are important. Getting shredded here is an anagram indicator to mix up, to shred them up, to cut them up. It would have been obvious from the checking letters, but looking for a herb, and with the letters of adorn rice in there, that's fairly obviously coriander. Nice. So next one, come between priest and one upset. So to come between is to into something. Priest and one and the word one together, 9 letters. Upset being an anagram indicator. Interpose. Interpose. Yeah, interpose. So that's an anagram of priest one. So priest one upset to mean come between. Interpose. Compliant plug with suitable fit. Okay, so suitable or fit is able. So does it mean fit or does it mean compliant? A plug is an add. Yeah, so a plug is an add. Suitable is apt. If it's apt, it's suitable. So add, apt, able gives adaptable, which is compliant. Great. 18 down. Remains supporting small bands. So remains are ashes. S for small. Small is recognised abbreviation as S. And bands are sashes. Okay, cracking on. Time slip creating panic. T is an abbreviation for time. Yeah, and a slip is an error. So T for time, error gives terror, which is panic. Trip aboard occasionally for headdress. Yeah, so I got this answer from the headdress and the checking letters, but just to prove it, occasionally, again, it's talking about taking occasional or alternating letters. And if you take the occasional alternating letters from trip abroad, T, I, miss out the P, A, R, A, gives tiara, and a tiara is a headdress. Lesser gods revolting, protecting monsters. Yeah, so another hidden clue here. This is ogres. So 3 hiddens in a crossword. That's quite unusual. This one is in reverse order though. So revolting here is a reversal indicator, telling us to look at these lesser gods backwards. Protecting is the hidden or contains indicator. So looking backwards, ogres gives ogres, which are monsters. Okay, and last of the down clues, old judge giving lecture. Yeah, this is orate. So O for old. O is a recognised abbreviation for old. To judge something is to rate it, and then to give a lecture is to orate. Excellent. Only 2 left. Making good time today. Stomach is tender in emergency room. Okay, so emergency room in this case was AE. Obviously, that's the British version of emergency room is A and E. Stomach. What about abide? So to tender something is to bid. So the clue's written cleverly here to make you think tender means to mean sore or painful. Sore to the touch would be tender. Tender has other definitions. It means to be kind, obviously, and caring. But to tender something is also to bid, to offer, to tender. So bid in this case. So bid within A and E gives abide, which means to stomach. If you abide it, you stand it, you can deal with it, you can stomach it. That's a clever clue, written completely differently to the way stomach is different and tender is different to the way it's written in the clue. Like that. It's good. Okay. 11 across. Act includes empty effort showing bust. Well, we said statue. Statuette. Maybe. What about statuette? Yeah, so an act is a statute. So in law, acts are statutes, S-T-A-T-U, and then T-E at the end. Empty effort is telling us literally to empty the word effort, which just leaves the E and the T, the outer letters. You put those in the middle because it includes, act includes empty effort, gives bust. In this case, as we said, a bust meaning a statue or a statuette. Okay, last one. Reputation is suffering in court. Okay, I think this is cachet. Yep, I think that's right. So suffering is an ache. So if you are suffering, you ache. CT for court, and cachet is your reputation, what you're worth, your value. Cool. That's all done in about 25 minutes, which is good. Good quick one today. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for joining. If you did, and again, as I say, please consider giving the video a thumbs up, a like. It does help the algorithm to push my videos out in front of more people, so that will be much appreciated. And if you consider subscribing to the channel, then you'll get notifications when I post more videos. So usually trying to do 2 a week at the moment, which seems to be going okay. So yeah, thanks very much for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed that. Enjoy your day, whatever you're doing for the rest of the day, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Thanks very much. Bye.